guys, Hannah here. Welcome to my video and to my channel. Today I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat about some really important things going into 2022. The last videos I did were my Vlogmas series, and it has actually been a little while since 2022 started, but we're here now, and that's what matters. This is the time of year when we love to talk about all the wonderful things that we'll be achieving in the next 12 months, our New Year's resolutions. So I wanted to tell you what that looks like for me, my dreams, and why I've decided to let go of a dream. First of all, I just want to say that letting go is really hard, whether it's a dream or a relationship, or I don't know if you're material like me, it could be letting go of an item of clothing. Letting go is a really hard thing to do, and I just wanted to let you know that you are not alone, whatever you're going through. You are powerful, you have control over your life, I believe in you, and my comment section is always open if you want to chat. When I was doing my self-discovery last year and I decided that I wanted to let go of my dream, I felt very alone because I was surrounded by this incredible network. They were all people who had the same dream as my old dream, and they weren't going through what I was going through. They still had their passion for that dream, and even though I had this incredible support system around me, I still felt incredibly alone. It felt as if I went into mourning, mourning an older version of myself, mourning my dream. It felt like I was going through a breakup, So I just really hope that this video can provide you with inspiration or reassurance that sometimes letting go of a dream is the healthiest thing you can do, even if it's really scary. I think we as a society have a massive problem with letting go of dreams that no longer serve us. I don't mean giving up on a dream that we just don't want to work for. That's a completely separate problem. I mean letting go of something that maybe you found out you weren't a good fit for, or pursuing that dream meant you had to give up something else that you really cared about more. There's this general idea that we pick something in school and then we go to university for it, and then you do that for your career and you do that for the rest of your life, and it's all white picket fence and capitalism and our passion is supposed to keep us going for years and decades, but passions change, and that's the wonderful spicy thing about passion. Passions are something really, really vivid and exciting, and I believe you have to follow your passion. When we're little, we can change our dream like literally every day. You can be a fireman the next, and a policeman the next, and then a princess, and then a superhero or a dragon or a vet, anything. Literally every day you could change your dream, and people go, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's what they're interested in right now. But as you get older, there's this switch. You have to pick something. Pick one thing and do that forever. What? We're taught that if we never give up on our dream, then we're a winner, or we're a hero, we're the main character. But if we let go of a dream or we give up on a dream, then we're a failure, and we've let everyone down, we've let ourselves down. But that's just not true. I've had the same dream for as long as I can remember. I always wanted to be a commercial musical theatre performer. I've been performing for as long as I can remember. I was so young when I did my first few dance concerts, and probably other performances too, that I don't remember anything about them other than like one or two costumes, because I've seen those in photos and they connect to a very vague memory. Like, I don't remember so much about when I first started pursuing this passion. I don't remember the first musical I performed in. I started performing before I even hit kindergarten. I like to joke that I was kind of like brainwashed into performing arts. My brother and my sister, who are both 8 and 6 years older than me respectively, have been performing for as long as I can remember. I grew up carting my brother's drum kit around to all his gigs and going to all my sister's Stedfords, and obviously they're my older siblings. That's the kind of person that you look up to. So I followed in their footsteps a little bit and I started performing, and I'm honestly still not sure if I would have started performing if it wasn't for them. That's a whole searching question route that I haven't quite gone down yet. I've actually found it kind of interesting, not very surprising, but interesting, that the people who have found it the hardest to let go of my dream hasn't been me. It hasn't been the mentors that helped me pursue my dream. It's been my close family. The people who associated me with performance for the last 22 years. And yes, I'm throwing people under the bus here, sorry, but they can't seem to comprehend what life means without theatre. And to be fair, I'm still working that out. It was just under a year ago that I kind of made this decision, and I've been concreting it for the last year. So for me, I'm a year ahead of them still in figuring out what life without theatre means for me as a human. And who is Hannah Paul if she's not performing musical theatre? I don't want to be that person who has one thing that they do for the rest of their lives until they get old and grey, because to me, that is just so boring. That's not main character energy. I don't want to watch that movie. Who wants to watch that movie? Not me. Boring. I remember the exact moment that I realised I wasn't locked into theatre. I was taking my gear back to work. I work as a children's entertainer. I was sitting in my car at this intersection and it just kind of clicked that there are so many options out there in life that I haven't discovered. I've always had one path, one thing that I wanted to do. And even if I, tested out other things, it was never really an option for me because I had chosen what I was going to do. And it just kind of hit me as this wall of realization. I had just started bawling. It was this really freeing and cathartic experience. And I said before that it did feel a little bit like a nasty breakup, but sometimes a breakup is the healthiest thing you can do for yourself in the long term. And sometimes you deny that it's something you need to do, and then you do it, and you're like, I knew this is something that I needed to do. That all being said, this whole video being said, I might take a step back after a break and realize that actually theatre is what I want to do, and then go back to doing it. And that doesn't mean that I'm a failure either. Sorry, I just jumped out of my seat. I got very passionate just then. That doesn't mean that I'm a failure either. That just means that I needed to do some self-discovery before I found out who I am and what I actually want to do. So both those paths would be equally valid, and I think if I did decide to go back to theatre, then that would make me a stronger performer in the long run, because I really knew that it was what I was supposed to be doing. But look, I've been performing for as long as I can remember. I've just done 4 years of tertiary education in musical theatre. I landed on the honour roll of my diploma, and I graduated my bachelor with a distinction, so I'm just really tired. So I love telling stories and I love serving people, but there are some very specific reasons why I've decided to give up on this particular dream. You might find that some of these things really resonate with you. So here's why I've decided to let go of this dream. While I love performing for an audience, that really is such a small percentage of the work. The majority of the work is auditions and rehearsals and research. I do enjoy the research part of it, but then I tend to intellectualize things, and the majority of the work isn't the piece of the work that I really love, And I actually have a lot of anxiety around rehearsals, probably due to my perfectionist nature and my social anxiety, and me attaching my worth to my career. I can't deal with late nights. There's a lot of lifestyle around performing arts that just doesn't suit me. I get really grumpy if I lose any sleep, and I'm a morning person. I'm a homebody and I can't deal with constant travel. That's another lifestyle thing that just doesn't suit me. I'm also an incredibly introverted person, so having to be so constantly open and vulnerable to so many people is just really exhausting for me. I do love, opening up to new people and people opening up to me and having this whole vulnerable energy in the room. It's a really magical thing, but it is exhausting for me. The emotional manipulation in the industry is messed up. Look, I'm not here to criticize the industry, loves. That's another video, but I just can't deal with it. It's too much. Calm down, my dudes. The next reason is honestly, I think I'm just bored. As I said, I've been doing this my entire life for as long as I can remember. I turned 22 at the end of last year. 22 years of doing the same thing. You're gonna get bored. I realized that there are so many options out there for all the things you can do, and literally no one cares what you're doing. As long as you're, happy and healthy in yourself and looking after yourself, no one cares. It's not their life. Do whatever the hell you want. Life is meaningless, time is a construct, and joy is fleeting. That's not the message of this video. One of the big main things that I realized was that I considered musical theatre to be my stable career, and that I was staying in it because I considered it to be safe. Musical theatre is one of the least stable careers out there. Like, what was I thinking? And I think when that clicked in my brain, I was like, oh, Hannah, you idiot. What are you doing? I've always had a problem with New Year's resolutions because if I'm going to set a goal, I want it to be evergreen and not motivated by a change of calendar. That being said, New Year's just in general has never meant that much to me. But there's something about setting a goal motivated by a change of calendar that's always felt so cheap and disingenuous to me. Like, if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it no matter what time of year it is. Because if it's something that I really care about, it's something that I'll work on well past the new year, and that I won't need a change of calendar to be motivated to pursue. That being said, I know that New Year's resolutions work really well for a bunch of people, so that's not me taking away your thunder. You keep doing you, whatever works for you, keep at it. I've just found that they don't really work well for me, so that's my prerogative. So what am I doing next? Basically, I don't know, I'm still figuring that one out. You don't know what you don't know, and so far the only thing that I do know is theatre, so that's gonna take a little bit of time to figure out, but I'm excited to explore all the different avenues that I haven't explored before, give myself some space and some time to work out my brain and find something that might suit it a little better. I'm gonna make a little vision board. I love putting all my thoughts and my goals onto a physical space, an aesthetic space, so I can see it all. I know that that kind of might be in line with New Year's resolutions for some people, but it works for me. So some things that I'm going to work towards in the next year and moving forward. I want to focus on my K-pop dance. I've got some performances coming up this year, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully I can start doing some paid teaching things, so that'd be exciting. I want to build my YouTube channel. This is another dream of mine that I've kind of suppressed for years and years. And it's a long shot dream, but building a YouTube channel so that I can work with brands and get an income stream from YouTube, that would be incredible. I'm gonna learn Korean. I've actually already started that. There'll be another video about that coming up soon, so stay tuned. But I wanna learn Korean also because I wanna go visit Korea and I wanna be able to sing along to my K-pop dances, you know? I also wanna gain some more financial literacy. Over the last year and a half, 2 years, I don't know. I've been listening to the She's on the Money podcast, and that really helped kickstart my knowledge of finance, but I want to read some more books. I've got The Barefoot Investor that I want to read, and I want to get to know finance and myself and figure out what that is and make it a little more stable for myself perhaps. I also got a kalimba for Christmas. It's a little instrument, so I want to start learning more on the kalimba, build that skill up. I want to get back into figure skating. I haven't gone skating in a really long time, so I'm really looking forward to getting back out on the ice and skating around. Maybe I'll get a coach this year. Who knows? I want to take a solo trip somewhere in Australia. There are so many places in Australia that I've never visited, and it's such a massive country. There's so many places to go visit. So I want to take a little solo trip also because I think that'll be a really nice personal little date moment. I'm really excited about that. I want to finish decorating my apartment. I've been living here for 2.5 years and it's still like not really looking like my apartment. I think it's mainly that the walls are really bare, so I want to put some things on the walls, put some things away that I'm not using and declutter and get this apartment really feeling like mine, because I think that was something that I was putting off while I was in uni because I was just like, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, but I'm hoping that that's something I can really do over the next little bit. And I also want to save up for a corgi. I really don't think that I'm going to get a corgi in the next year, but it's something that I'm going to keep working towards. I'm going to save up for this corgi. I'm very excited. I'm at this really exciting point where the trajectory of my life could go any direction right now, and that is terrifying, but mostly exciting, and I have no idea what's next, but there's a wasp trying to get into my apartment. Please leave. So yeah, I just wanted to give you some insight on myself, my personal journey that I've made over the last year. Hopefully give you some inspiration if you're thinking about letting go of a dream, but you're not quite sure if it's the right thing. So far, it has been an incredibly healthy thing for me. Obviously, it hasn't been that long that I've been outside of theatre, but I already feel so much personal freedom and excitement about what's around me, whereas I used to feel tied down to one thing. Even if I didn't realize that I felt that way, I did feel that way. But anyway, there's basically my whole life story that no one asked for. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Comment down below a dream that you've never told anyone about, but you're secretly really passionate about. I reckon we'll have some really interesting ones. Ding that bell button if you want to be notified when I upload, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!